Hey guys, Dave the Station here. I want to do another video for you guys about your first line. So for those of you that don't know what your first line is, it's kind of your belt setup. It's something that you're never going to take off, whether you're in combat environment, law enforcement capacity, or if in like a SHTF scenario. It's something you're always going to have on your person, stuff that you need. It's basically to get to your long gun if you don't have it on hand. I got two different versions set up down below, and you'll see the way that I have them set up in a little bit on some of the differences between the two. So first things first, basically what you're going to need in a any situation, whether you're just at the range, if you're working law enforcement, you're military, basically what you're wearing on your belt is going to be what gets you to your long gun in your car, what gets you to your next safe place if you don't have your rifle with you. First things first though, hearing protection. These are some Howard Light Impact Sports. They're about $45 on Amazon. They're awesome headphones. They're electronic. They filter out the kind of noise of gunshots, and then they have a microphone built into them so you can kind of pick up a normal conversation or anything if you're in a tactical environment. They fold out nice and compact. I like having these in already on my head or stored in a dump pouch on this particular lineup. The next thing you're going to want gloves. I talked about these gloves in the last video. They can be anything. These ones just happen to be the Oakley Pilot gloves that I'm still breaking in. Right down here, this is the first setup we're going to talk about. So it's based off of a Hsgi, which is High Speed Gear Industries Suregrip built. So basically it's got a stiff kind of plastic piece in the middle to help keep it rigid. It's got molly webbing on the outside. On the inside, it's got kind of a neoprene material to keep it from sliding up when you're doing your draws and stuff. I do have a Shellback Tactical Riggers belt on the inside. It does feature cobra buckles. Makes it really easy to take on and off. There's no adjustment needed, especially if you got kind of ratchet style belt or something like that. This is a very simplistic design. I typically would maybe add a better, or switch out this pouch for an IFAK, or a fully stocked IFAK, and add a dump pouch as well. Those are very useful just for carrying small items, such as water, expended magazines, some snacks, whatever you want in here. But we'll start over here on my right side. These are Hsgi taco pouches. A little bit old school. I know, like I said in earlier videos, the kind of way tactical thinking is high speed, low drag. You want minimal space consumption, the thinnest line or the thinnest profile in your gear. But this works really well for me, especially with the built-in pistol mag carriers as well. The way that these are set up, this is on my strong side. So I carry 2 magazines on my strong side for my primary weapon, and as well as magazine setup for my secondary weapon. There is some open space here. Like I said, I could add a couple, swap out some pouches, whatever I want to improve. This is kind of my secondary belt. I more primarily go for this version, which we'll talk about in a minute. This right here, I just modified or repurposed a radio pouch. This is meant for an MBITR radio. Military guys should be familiar with that. They're pretty large. This just has basic medical equipment in it. As you can see, it just has a tourniquet, and then at the bottom there's some quick clot on there as well. On my weak side, this is going to be if you're in an event where you need to shoot on your non-dominant hand, which in my case is my left hand, I'm going to need to do a reload with my right hand. So I have a mag able to be drawn. I also do carry a white light. I think that's very important, especially if you're running a sidearm that does not have a white light capability on it, such as a Surefire or Streamlight. there's kind of two theories behind the thought of the way these battle belts or your first line should be set up. The first is kind of like this. It should be able to be removed very quickly in the event that you get snagged up on something, or your shift's over, that kind of thing. But they go on quite nicely. So like I said, modeling it here for you. I've got my sidearm ready to rock. If I need to utilize this in a holster, if I have my long gun up, all I gotta do is drop my magazine. I'm ready to reload. Same kind of thing with my sidearm. If I need to reload, drop my magazine right there, ready to rock. IFAK, center of the back. I can get to it with either hand, pull out the tourniquet so I can apply it in any situation, if I'm missing a limb, if one arm is out of commission or not. These are really nice. The belts retail for about 80 bucks. The inner belt I think was probably 40 or 50 or so. You do have to purchase it separately. I know this kind of concept is going away. It's a little bit bulkier, but it's really nice, especially for you guys that run competition, doing 3-gun or whatever. It really keeps it kind of outside or away from your body, gives you a little bit more room to play with when you're doing your reloads and stuff. Alright, so this is the second belt. This is kind of configured for more of a duty or tactical setup. Basically, I've got a pistol mag pouch on my strong side, a primary magazine pouch on my strong side, dump pouch, pretty nice, very useful. You can throw just a bunch of stuff in here. This opens up pretty wide. Fully stocked IFAK. I'm going to go over an IFAK in a different video. Basically, it's an individual first aid kit. They're used only by medical personnel on you. If you go down, you should never pull from your IFAK to use on somebody else that you come across that needs medical attention. I do carry a K-bar knife. This happens to be the K-bar short. It's a 7-inch blade versus the 9-inch blade with the tanto tip. Super nice knife. Used it on many occasions for a multitude of different things. Like on the other belt, I do have a strong or weak side primary magazine. Just makes it super easy. In case I have to shoot left-handed, I can reload with my right hand instead of using having to switch over, reload, and then come back. This right here, this is my Glock 19 in a Safariland ALS holster. This is kind of my go-to holster. It's really nice. It's got really good retention on there, as well as the capability to have light bearing on there. Like I said, I like having a white light available to you, in whatever situations you might find yourself in. White light is always a plus. I do also carry a weak side reload on my handgun in the event that I need to reload. So typically this belt would be woven into the belt loops. I just didn't feel like adding all of these pouches and while I'm putting the pants on. It's kind of a pain, but it ensures that they're not going anywhere and they're going to stay in the correct positions. As you can see, this could potentially slide out in front of you. Not a big deal, but you want to know exactly where your stuff is. It comes down to training. Like I said, I don't remember exactly what brand this hard double mag pouch is. I think I spent like $30 or $40 on it at Gander Mountain when those were still a thing. Served me quite well when I was doing USPSA or matches or ISPC matches. Super fast to reload from. On the left side here, like I said, I've got a Kydex holster. These retail, you can get custom ones made for probably $20 to $40 depending on some of the features it has. Like I said, I like re-indexing magazines, so once I expend a magazine, this one's going to the ground, I'm going to remove a magazine from my plate carrier and insert it back into this pouch here. It just makes muscle memory a lot easier drawing from the same location. Right here, like I said, dump pouch, Velcro, expands pretty large. You can put just about anything in there. I like running in my comms, or I'm sorry, my ear protection, picking up extra or empty magazines after I am done shooting, going back to reload them, bottles of water, etc. Center of the back, IFAK, same kind of concept. You can reach this with either hand if you need to apply it to yourself. It's very useful for that. Like I said though, it's for somebody to use on you or for you to use on yourself. It's everything in it is meant for you, and it just helps your medic not use all of their equipment to take care of you. They can use some of yours that you're carrying and not have to blow up their bag while they're taking care of you. I move back. Like I said, I've got a weak side reload magazine available in the event that I'm shooting offhand. I can still reload very quickly out of this particular magazine pouch. Same exact one as on my strong side. That's, like I said, $20 to $40 or so. This is my sidearm. Like I said, Glock 19 and an ALS, Safariland ALS holster. It does have retention. Super easy draw. It is light bearing. I'm running a Tailor 1 HL on there, so super bright, 800 lumens. I'll go over the light and the Glock in a separate video. But basically, the holster super nice. It was a little bit expensive, probably about $130 or so. You might be able to find them a little bit cheaper. I do carry a weak side pistol mag in case I need to do it. If I have to, if my right arm's incapacitated and I have to start shooting my sidearm with my left hand, I am able to either draw and reload from my weak side, or I can show you guys a few techniques in a separate video on how to do one-handed reloads with sidearms and your primary weapon systems. Okay, so I just threw on my plate carrier quick. I just wanted to demonstrate that yes, these are kind of bulky. You do carry a lot of equipment on your hips, but you are able to still access all of it, even wearing a full plate carrier with armor in it. You got your sidearm. You're ready to rock. You can reload off your off your weak side with your mag. And then this all comes down to muscle memory. You're obviously not, you're going to have a little bit harder time seeing exactly where your stuff is. You need to practice with it and drill, make sure you can reload, and you know exactly where all of your equipment is. But yep, same kind of thing. Right side reload, not a problem. Pistol mag reload, not a problem. And I can still access my, my miniature IFAK. Showing you the other belt here. I do have some magazines up front. I've got a training flashbang on my left side here, but I am still able to access all of my equipment. I'm able to draw my sidearm very rapidly without any issues. Reindex that. I've got a weak side pistol magazine reload. I've got my primary or strong side pistol mags up front here. I am able to reload with my strong side for my primary weapon system, access to my dump pouch, access to my IFAK. I can pull out my knife, be ready to go very easily. You got to be careful when you're kind of re-indexing your blade if you can't see it. I'm just going to put that down. If you're pulling your knife out in a gunfight, it's kind of a last resort. You might drop that. It's not going to be your biggest concern. Like I said, I got a weak side reload available, and then we're back up front to my sidearm and stuff. That's about all I got to say on your first line. Biggest thing is training, making sure you know exactly where everything is. Trying keeping stuff consistent. There's little things that matter, like which way your rounds are facing when you reload. Do you want your rounds facing forward, or when you draw, or do you want to draw like this, where you have to do some sort of weird grip angle to get that magazine inserted correctly. I'll talk a little bit about my plate carrier. My plate carrier is a Shellback Banshee plate carrier. They retail for like 150 bucks or so. Super great, lots of padding. They're pretty minimalist. They do have a kangaroo pouch on the front. I used to run mags in there. It just got too hard to remove them. But I like having kind of a slick front. That way if I have to go prone, I can get a little bit closer to the ground. So I picked up some Blue Force gear, primary magazine pouches for AR-15s, M4 variants. They're elastic. Like I said, I was talking about the re-indexing. So let's say I got my weapon up, reload, dump this mag out. Instead of drawing my next magazine to reload from the vest, if I got a minute, I'm going to reinsert it into my strong side first line magazine pouch. It just keeps that reload consistent, and you can probably reload a little bit faster. On the right side, I do carry a magazine facing the opposite direction for the same kind of purpose. I can reload, from my weak side. Once that magazine is in there, this pouch is open. I'm just going to go ahead and insert my one of my magazines from my vest on my weak side magazine pouch. Just again, keeping everything consistent. Overall, it kind of varies on the number of magazines you need to carry. I like to carry at least 6 plus 1 in the gun, giving me a total of 210 rounds. That's pretty standard for the military. It's enough to sustain a pretty good gunfight, and it should get you definitely, as a civilian, should definitely get you to your car, or back to your house, or take care of your threats. If you need more than 210 rounds, you need a buddy with a few extra bullets in there. This pouch, if you're curious, this is just a tactical Tailor pouch. I run kind of simulations when I do classes and stuff. This is just the training flashbang. These are, intended purposes are for airsoft. However, I found real life application for them. They do make a pretty loud noise when you pull a pin. I can go over those in a separate video if you guys want to see them. They're just run by a CO2 cartridge. But I like keeping that up front if you're, in case I'm the doorman or whatever. Past that, if you guys have any questions, don't forget to send me a message, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much.